So where does confidence come from? We were surprised to learn when we were writing this book that confidence is partly genetic, something like 25 to 40%. We did a lot of work with neuroscientists who are looking at confidence in monkeys and confidence in rats. I didn't know that there were confident and unconfident rats, but apparently there are. And they are homing in on the genes that affect our confidence levels. And they've narrowed it down to about 3. And they are the genes that affect hormones in our body, things like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And if you have a certain variant of that gene, you are more predisposed to confidence than if you have a different variant. So Claire suggested we should get our own genes tested for the book. I wasn't really thinking about this, so I kind of went along with the plan. And it's terribly easy, it turns out, to get your genes tested. You spit into a little tube and you send it off in a FedEx envelope, and then you spend 2 weeks sweating. Because what happens if your genes come back and they're not perfect? Because that would be all of your fault, right? Anyway, after 2 weeks, we get the email from the neuroscientists, and we open up the emails, and I stand before you a basket case when it comes to confidence. I have no genetic predisposition to confidence. And it was another moment in our research where we thought, what do we do with this? This is not what we expected. But in fact, what it made us realize is that whilst confidence is to some extent genetic, it's much more importantly a choice. It's what psychologists call volitional. And you can choose to take action. You can choose to take a risk. Try that thing that is difficult for you. Put your hand up in that meeting where you think everybody's going to stare at you and you might blush and you might sweat and you might say something that people think is stupid. What's the worst that's going to happen? The sky won't fall on your head. The earth won't swallow you whole. You will still be there. You could go for that promotion. You might not get it. Part of taking a risk is failing sometimes. But you'll still be standing. And taking risks is a prerequisite to building confidence. Act more. It goes with the idea of thinking less. We know that you can send a man and a woman into an identical review. The man will come out convinced he's about to get a promotion. The woman comes out thinking she needs to find a new job, that she's about to get fired, because she will have heard that one little line, room for growth, could improve on. And that's what will spin around in her head. I do the same thing. I've anchored shows where I've asked one stupid question in the course of 3 hours. 12 hours later, I'm thinking about that one stupid question. I'm not thinking about the other great stuff I've done during that 3 hours. The next day, I'm still thinking about that one question. 3 weeks later, I'm still thinking about that one dumb question. It probably wasn't even a dumb question. But it's going round and round in my head. It's called ruminating, and it's what women are very good at. We need to draw a line under the ruminating because it stops us from taking risks. So that's really the critical part of the confidence code. We need to act more and think less. But the final part of the confidence code is being authentic. We wrestled with this a lot while we were doing our research. Basically, the idea of, do you have to be a jerk to be confident? Is the person that's confident the one that has the most swagger and the most bravado and the person that dominates the meetings and speaks loudest and longest? Is that what confidence is? Because I think for a lot of women, that's kind of an alien idea. We feel like we're putting on somebody else's armor. It was Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF, who we interviewed during the course of this book, who kind of helped us with this issue. And she said, the most important thing for women is to be authentic. Remember, you have all of those talents. All of those things you bring to the table, an ability to listen, to build consensus, to read a room, having high EQ, being great managers. Those are important skills. You don't want to jettison those in the pursuit of confidence. Trying to put on somebody else's behavior doesn't work for us. We know in the 1980s we wore those horrible shoulder pads and the string ties, and believe me, it really didn't work. We don't want women to become men. The value of diversity and the reason that it works is because we bring different perspectives to the table. So you need to have your voice heard. We can't afford for you not to. You're not there by the grace and favor of your employer. You're there because you're valuable. We need to hear your voice. You don't need to apologize for it, and we need to hear your opinions, and we need you to get up to the top. But do it in a way that is authentic. That is what is going to work best for women. So act more, think less, and be authentic. The 3 tenets of the confidence code.